Welcome, everybody, to the FHSAA Regional Quarterfinal game here at Bryant Stadium. We're glad that you're joining us, and we're going to have some fun tonight, folks. This is a FHSAA sanctioned game, so we're under kind of state guidelines. So we're going to be reading a lot of announcements and things that the state wants us to do, but we have permission to bring you the webcast tonight, and we're excited to do so. Michael Barrett down in the production room and company here, of course, as you'll notice. No Jeff Goddard around, and you know Jeff's not feeling well if he's not going to make the game tonight. He called a little bit earlier just saying he is. Probably would do you all justice not to make it tonight. He didn't want slobber on over and just really exhausted. So we're going to give Jeff a break tonight, but we'll bring you lots of fun. We're going to have some special guests, maybe Fred Lopez up here with Allen & Company being one of our game sponsors tonight. We thank them so much. We'll talk to Fred at halftime. We, of course, used to do the radio broadcasting way back when. We've got some funny stories to share with you about that. But we've got some great football tonight. The Lakeland High School Dreadnaughts coming in 10-0 into the second season. And now we've got Wiregrass Ranch Bulls coming over from the New Tampa area to try to get really upset, no question about it. The Lakeland Dreadnaught football team ranked second in Step 7A in the state. So we'll, if we have time, talk a little bit about the brackets. Very interesting bracket system we have this year in Class 7A and who will have to get past, who could be the favorites, who could be the surprises. We'll talk a little bit about that as we go along through this game. But we have a good one. Again, anything can happen in this second playoff season. The Dreadnaughts have to show up, even though Wiregrass is ranked 8th in this respective bracket, and the Dreadnaughts are ranked 1st in this bracket of the division. The Dreadnaughts are going to have to bring it tonight. No letdown. Can't have one of those hiccup games that we also, a lot of teams can have during the season. And we've seen from the Dreadnaughts over the last 7 or 8 games, certainly have not had a hiccup. We mentioned some of the statistics. As a matter of fact, last week, they were perfect. Why were they perfect? They had a bye week last week, of course, if you remember. So a chance for the Dreadnaughts at the last regular season game for most other schools. The Dreadnaughts had the week off, able to maybe mend a few little ailments and things that were going on. And the Dreadnaughts hopefully coming in here very healthy tonight for this first playoff game. But previously, before the bye week, 7 weeks of the Dreadnaughts with a 355-point offensive juggernaut performance in those 7 games versus only 9 points scored against this Lakeland High School defense, which is probably more impressive when you really look at, defensive football, X's and O's. That's tremendous, especially when we've been so far ahead in the offensive side of things and let some of our second, third defensive players come in and really still hold their own. Just a fantastic job by this Dreadnaught defense leading into this second season again. So, as I said, we're going to have to bring you some Florida announcements as we go through the first and second quarters here. We'll talk to Fred Lopez at halftime. And again, Allen & Company is the game sponsor tonight. And we look forward to sharing more with you as we go along. And I think we're only a few minutes away from kickoff as I see the team captains popping out right in back of me here. The Lakeland High School band kind of got things rolling with a little pregame show. And kudos to the Lakeland High School Dreadnaught Marching Band as in the big Winter Haven competition that they had. I talked to one of the parents, straight superiors for the Dreadnaught Band. So they are running on all cylinders themselves, as is the football team. So we got everything working for us here on the Dreadnaught sideline. So as we take it down, let me see who the captains are. I don't know if we want to switch the camera down so we can see who the captains are tonight. There we are. Jahari Martin, number 19.
Number 96, Latrell Dean, and number 98, Trey Huntley.
As we're looking at the captains coming out, we just want to remind everybody that we have a certain group of sponsors here at the webcast, and this cannot be. And when we say cannot be, we mean at all cannot be brought to you without their sponsorship. So what we'd like to do right now is just really say a super hearty congratulations and thank you to the Jeff and Marilyn Klein family at Mid-State Industrial Maintenance, because they stepped up and said, hey, we love Dreadnaught football. We've had a rich history of Dreadnaught football, and we, in fact, would love to support it in this playoff game tonight. Jeff and Marilyn Klein, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for allowing us to bring this webcast. And as you know, many of you know, certainly Mid-State Industrial Maintenance, an incredible company that they lead, but they've had multiple members of the Klein family that played football here for the Lakeland Dreadnaughts. Jim Klein, class of 69, the year I was born, fantastic, vintage year. Greg Klein, class of 73. Jeff Klein, class of 74. Kyle, the class of 2003, goes on with Colin in the class of 2007. What a rich history from the Klein family. We thank you again for the constant, dedicated support to Dreadnought football. So we were just excited to have you all aboard, and thank you so much again for the fine sponsorship as the Dreadnoughts will defend the north end zone. And we have the runway to victory set to go. As we said, we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. And there's the cannon, and here come your Dreadnaughts. Quick thank you also to Hollywood Cafe, who brought some food up here to the press box tonight. They are our press box sponsor. So, again, a lot of different people that make this thing work. We have, of course, our webcast sponsor, Mid-State, and then the Klein family, and, of course, a game sponsor here, Allen & Company. We'll talk to Fred. And the press box sponsors, of course, Hollywood Cafe tonight. So thanks to all those fine sponsors. As we are almost set for some action here in the FHSA Regional Quarterfinal. This is good stuff. Just a quick announcement that rights to the webcast of this regional quarterfinal in this 2018 FHSAA Class 7A Football Championships have been granted to the Florida webcast, the Lakeland Florida webcast by the Florida High School Athletic Association, as intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening and viewing audience. Any rebroadcast or retransmission without the express written consent from the FHSAA is strictly prohibited. And of course, my phone would be going bonkers as I'm reading that. Number 37, old Jace Hohenthaner, who's been a weapon for the Knots this year, set to kick things off. We'll boot things away to the Wiregrass Bulls. Big task, tall order ahead of the Bulls tonight, but they're going to bring it and do everything they can here at Bryant Stadium, Bill Castle Field, in this FHSAA regional quarterfinal. To try to make things happen. Set, helmets held high on the sidelines. Knots are ready, Bulls are ready. We're underway. End over end, foot to leather. Caught at the 2-yard line. Brought back, setting up the right side of the field, and is going to be just content to run out of bounds. He said, I'm not going to get a hit here this early, so I'm boogieing.
The Bulls will take over. First down and 10.
First down and 10 for the Bulls. As we'll see who the quarterback coming out for the Wiregrass. It is, in fact, Grant Sessoms, the senior, 6 foot, 160-pound quarterback. He's going to start at the shotgun with 2 wide receivers split to this near side. Sessoms calls for the balls, looks, fakes hands off, throws it out in the flat number 5, and it's bounced off the cornerback. Lakeland High School Dreadnought cornerback number 16 had a shot at the ball. Dreadnought defense, we talked about how stellar they've been over the past 7 games, but really all season long. Opposing teams have struggled to get past midfield. We'll see if Sessoms and company can do it for the Bulls tonight. Handoff right side on the ground tonight. Stingy defense. A couple yards there for the Bulls. Thanks again for joining us. This Lakeland football webcast being brought to you by the Klein family. As you can see in the upper right-hand corner also there, Mid-State Industrial Maintenance. 3rd down and 7 now for the Bulls. Here in Lakeland, all across the state, across the country, and around the world, this Lakeland webcast being broadcast in many different countries. Many of you watching in much colder states than we are in Florida tonight. A muggy 86 degrees here as Sessoms calls for the ball. And the refs will stop play. First penalty of the evening. On a 3rd and 7, they stop things. See what the call is here. As the Bulls march back 5 yards. False start.
Brings up 3rd down and 12.
3rd and 12. Sessoms set back. On a long 3rd down conversion, their first offensive possession of the night. Just under 11 minutes now, just underway first quarter. Fakes the handoff, rolls out, looking deep over the middle of the field, and overthrown his intended receiver. He had a man out there. Julian Gonzalez, number 5, was running across the middle, but was not tall enough, or the pass was too high, whichever you'd like to look at it. And that'll bring up a punting situation for the Bulls, and the Dreadnaughts will have a great opportunity with Finley Graham and Chris Howard back at the 50-yard line to potentially receive this punt. They may have a shot at it. Over the head of the punter. He's going to scramble. He gets crushed, and it's going to be a safety in the back of the end zone. Poor punter for the Bulls. The first points come on a special teams play by the Knots as there was a bad snap. I tell you what, I was just about to say, I do not want to be either the snapper or the punter for the Bulls right now with the Dreadnaughts coming. And sure enough, a bit of a mishap by the Bulls, and the Knots capitalize on their first 2 points of the game tonight. Coming on the safety. As cannons go off.
The safety brings the score to the Lakeland Dreadnaughts.
Safety brings the score to 2-0 early on here, 10:44 remaining. And now the Dreadnaughts will get an offensive chance. I don't know, that might have been the lesser of two evils for the Bulls as, again, we were coming. Even if he was able to get that punt off, you had Howard and Finley Graham stacked at the 50-yard line ready to retrieve that. And I'm sure they would have probably been near the red zone or inside the red zone, or if not, brought it back for a touchdown. So might have been kind to get only 2 points there. As Wiregrass is set up for a funky kind of kick here. Number 33, Hayden Wills, is angled to the east side of things. And he's going to pooch lob it, as we would affectionately call it, out of bounds. So that's no good. Wasn't even close. So interesting game plan for the Bulls tonight so far. Not sure that's how they drew it up, but the Knots will certainly have fantastic field position even after the safety. Apparently they saw something on the film to keep it away from our skilled special teams players. And they just decided to kick it out of bounds. As you see the refs talking things over with it this side of the field and going out of bounds, they're deciding where to mark it, making sure they get that correct.
The 5-yard penalty for kicking out of bounds moves the ball to the 35. The Dreadnaughts will take over first down and 10.
Dreadnaughts take over first down and 10. Ski McWilliams, quarterback under center. Actually, it's not Ski McWilliams. And a long drop back and a big sack. Boy, that was an interesting call. Mason Martin was actually the quarterback. They were going deep on the first play. Howard was way down there in the end zone, but the O-line let a little a bull run there and hit Mason Martin for a big loss on their first offensive try. Big sack for the Bulls. As Howard and number 14 come out to this near side to Sean Graham. Mason Martin still in there. Hands off to number 21, Kellum. Interesting lineup here to start things off. Reginald Kellum gets tripped up for a 2-yard loss. So the Dreadnaughts going in the wrong direction here. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 23 on their first offensive try. Mason Martin still in the game, though. Typically the backup quarterback. Starting tonight as Darian West goes out to the far side. Keon Zipper and Howard to this near side as a nice flip to Kellum. Kellum has a lot of room, ton of space, picking his way through the defense and just trips. Uh-oh. Turf Monster got Kellum. Maybe he had too much space. Nice 4th down gain, but not nearly enough on a 3rd and 23. So still a 4th and 9 upcoming for the offense. As Mason Martin talking to Coach Bill Castle there on the sideline. Some movement there as the Dreadnaughts point out to the refs. They had it covered, but want to make sure. Offsides Bulls. Big number 7 marches in for the Knots on a 4th down now and 4. A little bit easier proposition from a 4th and 9. Not sure why Coach Castle's coming out tonight with Kellum and Martin. I don't know if that's a strategy or just something that happened during the week. Hard to say, but they got some beef right now in there for the Dreadnoughts, especially on the right side of the line. My word, stacked. Is West and Howard. Martin runs into Kellum. Kellum tries to block, and they're not going to get it. That was an ugly-looking play as Kellum and Martin ran into each other in the backfield and just stopped any momentum that Martin had. It was going to be a keeper. They stacked the right side, and they were going to try to kind of trick the Bulls with a kind of quarterback keeper to the left side, thinking that maybe every pressure was going to be stacked on the other side defensively, but didn't work and didn't execute the play. And the Knots will turn it over on downs here for the Bulls' second offensive try, which was not successful. As you saw, the Knots did pick up a couple points on a safety on the snap above the punter on their first series. See if they can improve things here as we move along. Here goes Sessoms, I formation, strong I. Second guy gets the ball, the running back. He's going to push the pile. Number 24 does a decent job. Nathan Miller of getting a few yards in the Dreadnought interior. FHSA Sportsman is having pride in your school, your team, and yourself. Sportsmanship is respect for the game and those who play it. The Florida High School Athletic Association reminds you to take on the responsibility of good sportsmanship. Play strong, play hard, play fair. This message is provided by this station and the FHSAA. Sessom's long snap count, and there is a flag. Let's see if there's some movement on the Dreadnought side. I saw a couple people fidgeting around. Let's see who gets the call. Offsides, the Knots did come over, and that'll be a first down for the Bulls on what would have been a 2nd and 4. 7:45 again, first quarter. Knots jumping out early on the miscue by the Bulls on the snap over the head of the punter in the south end zone. But Dreadnoughts unable to be productive on their first offensive try. Sessom's trying to march the Bulls now on offense. Good play action passing and caught by number 2, into Dreadnought territory at about the 48-yard line. That was a nice pickup. Number 2, Noah Bigelow on that east sideline. Kept good concentration, got his feet in, and was able to make the reception.
Play gained 10 yards and results in a Bulls first down.
Play gained 10 yards and another Bulls first down. Sessom and company now into Dreadnought territory for the first time tonight. Many offenses have not treaded here this season, so already not doing too bad. Right side handoff. Again, number 24 gets the call. Nathan Miller just a yard or two on the right side. Actually, nothing. They have it marked right at the original line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10 coming up. Dreadnought defense trying to rally the call here. Keep the Bulls from threatening scoring here with 6:39 in the first quarter. Man goes in motion. Nice fake, direct snap to number 24, who looked like he was down and then kind of popped back up, but the refs didn't call him down, so he kept fighting, and forward progress had him at about the 40, let's say 44. See where they mark it. Just a reminder again, tonight, Allen & Company's Lopez, Marotz, and Wright team are the stadium sponsorship tonight. And we'll be talking to Fred Lopez a little bit at halftime. Third and 6. One man way out to this west side and sideline near the Dreadnought side. Man in motion, Miller again, 24. Sessoms drops back, has to fire it over the middle. They're trying to maybe set up a screen to Julian Gonzalez, but the Dreadnought defense was all over Sessoms, and he had to let that one go early. And the Knots forced the incompletion on a 4th down upcoming. And again, let's see if the punter gets the jitters out and the snap, more the snapper than the punter. Not as juicy of a situation for the Knots. But this is a timeout for the first quarter water break. So we'll go ahead and take our first timeout, and you're watching the Lakeland football webcast on the 2018 FHSA football regional quarterfinal. We'll be right back with you. Thank you again to the Klein family, Mid-State Industrial Maintenance. What a rich history. Unbelievable tradition. High snap again, but handled this time by the punter. He had to scurry and get things settled, and he boots it out of bounds towards his own cheerleaders over there, so the Dreadnoughts won't get a chance to return it once again, but have fine field position to start off their second try here. Let's see if we still see Mason Martin coming out. We do. I think I see number 12 talking to Coach Bill Castle.
Stand up so today's crowd can publicly recognize and thank you for your dedication, commitment, and passion.
I'd like to say congratulations to the girls golf team who finished 6th at the state tournament just a short time ago, and also to the JV football team who won their last regular season game 34-6 against Ridge. They finished 4-4 on the season, so good job by the JV team. Mason Martin in at quarterback for the Knots. Maybe a bit of surprise to some people. Handoff left side to Kellum. Kellum has a lot of room. Scampering down the sideline, stays in bounds easily for the first down and picks up maybe 8 yards beyond the first down marker. So a nice job. As we kind of set the stage and look at how these playoffs are looking in the brackets, of course, 7A, Columbia is actually ranked ahead of the Dreadnaughts and St. Thomas, so they are ranked number 1 in their respective bracket section. The only undefeated teams, really 3 coming into this 7A FHSA championship, Riverdale at 10-0. Of course, Lakeland 10-0. And then Pinellas Park at 10-0. So 3 undefeated teams as handoff again to Kellum. His jersey's held, and now to the races goes Kellum. Down the right sideline, one man down there at the 20. He's going to run out of bounds. Nice job, Reginald Kellum. Solid run by Reggie. Big hole open by the Lakeland offensive line there. Some good momentum now for the Lakeland offense, leading 2-0 here with 5:18 in the first quarter. Love to get some points on the board from the offense. West and Howard split receivers. Keon Zipper then blocking for Martin on the right side of the line. That's the way they're going to go with Kellum. Nice blocking. Good hole. Kellum skipping, diving, spinning twice on one run and gets inside the 10 or just at the 10-yard line, depending on where they mark it. But nice run by Reginald Kellum. As you can see, we say backups or second string, however you want to categorize it. Typically, the backup to DeMarcus Bowman. But not a big drop-off with Kellum, as he's shown when he's in those sparks this year of being able to really burst speed and ignite his own offensive production. 3 wide receivers left side. And they go to that strong side. Not much there. Good job by the Bulls defense. On the right side of the line. Second down and goal from the 9 right now. So obviously some names in the bracket that you'd of course recognize that are the favorites. St. Thomas won in their little bracket division. Dreadnaughts are number 1 in our bracket. Columbia is number 1 in their bracket. Teams, of course, like Plant that you would recognize. If you are 7A football fans, as Kellum gets the handoff to the left side and pickups of maybe 3 yards there. Vieira is ranked 2nd, Plant 3rd. 3rd down and goal now from the 5-yard line. Venice is the other number 1 ranked team, so those 4 ranked teams, of course, Columbia, Venice, St. Thomas, and Lakeland. Will those 4 number 1? You all know the brackets can get thrown out of whack pretty quick. Certainly old March Madness, if you follow that, just a couple shakeups can change up the whole thing and what people think. So we'll see how all this shakes out. But most of the time in these first games, number 1s are playing number 8s. And then it starts getting in the middle where 4s plays 5 and that sort of thing as Martin rolls out looking in the end zone, flicks it over. And it's going to be kind of a short pass, but somehow Zipper got his arms around it and brought it in at the 1-yard line. Wow. 4th down and goal. What to do now? Coach Castle talking to Martin. So, of course, again, as Lakeland's playing number 8 Wiregrass, you have Harmony playing Kathleen. So Harmony at 9-1 playing Kathleen at 5-4, also in our little bracket tonight. If we have any scores, we'll bring those to you. Looks like they're going on a 4th and 1 at the goal line. Martin under center, hands off, big man, right side. Touchdown, Knots! That looked pretty easy. Just bring the beef. Stack it up and let them go. The old hammer. Jace Hohenthaler set for his first extra point, even though we had 2 points on the board with that safety. 2:55 still left in this first quarter. Howard set to hold, gets it down, looks good. Hohenthaler, strong kick, left side. Extra point is good. Let's see, I'm not sure if as we approach the end of the first quarter, if we're going to do the Lakeland wave tonight. which we've set this new tradition here this year in the 2018-2019 season of at the end of the first quarter when we're at home here, waving to the kids over at the new wing of the Lakeland Regional Hospital, the Carol Barnett Wellness and Health Center.
Tonight's sponsor of the game is Allen & Company's Lopez, Rocks, and White team. Thank you for your constant and dedicated support of Dreadnaught football.
So the Knots
We would also like to remind you to
are a kind of,
support your
I wonder what they're doing, theme on offense with some players that you wouldn't expect starting the ball game have produced their first points to go up 9-0. J-Ho, kaboom, end over end kick is going to be caught at the 3-yard line. Steps back right side again. Number 5 is the return man. He stepped out of bounds last time. This time he did not, and he paid the price. Lakeland special teams defense proving to be good this year as well. Hence the point totals or lack thereof by the opposition.
First down and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
So no real gain over a normal starting position at the 20-yard line is where Sessoms and company will try to answer the Dreadnaughts. They were able, through a couple nice pass plays, to break the 50-yard line and sneak into Dreadnaught territory in their last possession, but a tough road against this Dreadnaught defense, as many teams will find out here in the playoffs. Sessoms hands off right side to Miller. Nathan picks up a solid 6-7 yards, though, off the right side, pushing the pile and kind of keeping his feet moving.
Taking 8 yards, brings up second down and 2.
Second down and 2 now, so they gave him a full 8 yards. Not bad at all if you are a Bull. Miller again, right side, nothing doing there. We'd like to remind you that the rights to this webcast in the 2018 FHSA Class 7A Football Championships have been granted to the Lakeland Football Webcast by the Florida High School Athletic Association and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening and viewing audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Florida High School Athletic Association is prohibited. As we approach the 1 minute mark here in the first quarter, probably be close to that at the end of this play. Sessom sends 2 receivers way out to the far side, and nope, timeout. Bulls. Go ahead and take another brief timeout as you are watching the 2018 FHSA Football Regional Quarterfinal, and we'll be right back with you after these messages.
We would like to give a special thanks to Antia of Hollywood.
High school juniors and seniors. Submit your A's and B's to Bartow Ford for your chance to win a new Mustang. Visit DriveFordExcellence.com for official rules. The 25th annual Drive for Excellence with Bartow Ford. We're different and we prove it.
Welcome back to Bill Castle Field, Bryant Stadium. We'd like to remind you that the booster meeting is now the Dreadnought Highlight Report with Coach Castle. Monday night, October 1st at 7 p.m. Sorry, that is old. I should read the teleprompter first. Sessom set, chased, and brought down hard in the backfield. They will, however, have a Dreadnought Highlight Report with Coach Castle on the Monday following each of these playoff games, of course, if we win, and the LHS Film Locker Room, if you so choose to see that. You can also continue to buy playoff tickets at Marshall's Jewelers next to Bedrock's Wings at 2058 East Edgewood Drive, or reserve seating for $12 at the LHS School Guidance Office if you want to get playoff tickets as we move throughout, as the Dreadnoughts partially block it off the left side and it goes out of bounds around the 42, 43-yard line. Boy, the punting has not been good for the Bulls tonight. Struggling mightily on that side of things. Good for the Knots, though, as they are already in the Bulls' territory. Now, interestingly enough, DeMarcus Bowman, number 3, I see showing up out there. West and Howard to the left side. Zipper in tight end position. Number 25, the Knots blocking for DeMarcus Bowman. There goes Bowman, skipping, cutting back. Bowman breaking tackles, down 10, 5. Touchdown DeMarcus Bowman on the first time he touches the ball on a fantastic jaunt. 44 yards. It's a good average. 1 carry, 44 yards for Debo. The stunning junior 5'11", 190-pound specimen of a running back for the Knots. Looked like he was just playing in the schoolyard there, didn't it? Just la 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 la. Let me run around this guy, stiff arm this dude at the 20. Turn on the jets at the 10 and just round the corner. And home we go. Whoa, low kick, watch out. But the cannons fly, and the extra point is good. One play, officially 42 yards for DeMarcus Bowman on the run. Special to watch that young man. With just 18 ticks left here, we'll keep it here in the first quarter. Wowza. That was good. Sorry, no replay tonight to show you. Trust me, it was fantastic. Maybe they want you to come to the Coach Castle highlight report Monday night. Yes, this is November. I would say mid-November. Just past the beginning of November, and Michael Barrett and I were talking. Usually by this time we at least get to break out the hoodies and light jackets a few times, but nope. Not yet, anyways. Maybe just around the corner. Squib kick by Mr. Hohenthainer. They just like running to that right side. They've gone, maybe they saw something on film. Every time on special teams, they run directly to what is currently the east side line, and nothing much happening for them there. There's an unidentified flying object in the north end zone. Is that a drone? What in the world is that? Anyways, you can't see it. 11 seconds left in this interesting first quarter with Mason Martin and Kellum coming out to start things off. And then Bowman checks in here just this last series, and one play, 42 yards to pay dirt. Sessoms hands off to Miller right side, trying to find something, and nothing. I mean, just hornswoggled by 5 Knots. Great defensive play, as we've seen all P.J. Sloan in there. As that is the end of the first quarter. The Knots 16, the Wiregrass Bulls a familiar 0 for opponents here at Bryant Stadium. We're doing it, folks. We're doing it. They're getting ready. It is, in fact, the Dreadnought wave that's about to happen.
Lakeland Regional Health.
over at the pavilion, Lakeland Regional Health, the 5th floor, I believe. I see the flashlights waving as we hopefully can bring a little inspiration to those kids as
1, 2, 3.
Dreadnaughts waving to very deserving kids. I see some lights over there on the top floor too, maybe picking up a few floors of spectators. The whole building getting in on the action. From our Dreadnought family to yours, as they're saying here. As you can see right there, the windows and the flashlights gleaming, and the flashlights here with everyone on their feet at Bryant Stadium.
Tonight's game of the 2018 FHSAA Class 7A Football Championship is sponsored by the...
And there is a drone. I wasn't seeing things. Maybe picking up, doing a little filming there over the 10-yard line. The drone is at the 10 to the 5. It is unmolested scoring for the drone into the north end zone. Obviously, a different age where you can do some amazing things. I remember just a few years back, they would spend thousands and thousands of dollars in these NFL stadiums putting these cameras on wires that would move back and forth. And then literally just a few years later, with drones enhancing their photography so much, those were obsolete and no longer see those. It's really revolutionized a lot of sporting events as well as just media applications for multiple uses. So the Dreadnought wave is in the books at the end of the first quarter, and the Knots first quarter successful, 16-0, on pace. Of course, just thumping Kathleen. I think it was 50-0 a few weeks back at their place for our final regular season game, and then of course last week again having the bye week. Not sure what everyone's conferring. Oh, they didn't like the drone. It's a spying thing or something. They didn't like that. Yeah, I think we got a stern warning about the new wave media technologies. As a direct snap to Miller Sessoms. Big hit by Sloan and company. Almost had to bring the runner down. He was determined. 33 in there as well for the Knots on defense, Jalen Taylor. As without my wingman tonight, Jeff Goddard, hope you feel better, getting a little rest. He was just whooped when I talked to him earlier. So we said we can take it for you tonight, Jeff. He, of course, always faithful in getting here. I think it might be his first webcast missing since we started, firing over too much mustard. Nice pass. You saw there he had the capability. He slung it out to that east sideline with plenty of oomph. Number 5, Julian Gonzalez, the intended receiver, and nothing doing, though, as the poor punter for the Bulls is going to have to give it another. He's like, really, guys? Again already? As you've seen, I've not done well tonight, and you're still putting me out here. He's set at the 15-yard line. It's a pretty lonely feeling back there by yourself. Let's see if a snap can be better this time. That's in the bread basket. Hey! Couldn't tell if it was partially blocked again, but Finley Graham will have a shot at it. Finley Graham runs through a couple players, keeps his feet at the 50. Finley Graham has some blockers. What a run. 30-20. There is a flag back at the 35. Are you kidding me? Hats fly. Coach Castle throws his hats. I think every coach threw their hat as a unnecessary penalty back here at the 45-yard line is going to bring this one back on an unbelievable special teams run by Finley Graham. Dang. I was impressive watching him weaving his way as he was coming at you with the film crew here at the 50, 45, splitting some defenders, and then got to the outside and turned on the Jets. But just ended up being a training exercise, a little extra cardiovascular work for Finley Graham and company. Well, you just knew he was going when he broke it past this left hash because we had a stable of Naughts. Stable of Naughts lined up to help escort Finley Graham. Now, took a while, but one Ski Williams in the ball game with one DeMarcus Bowman. Ski Williams keeps it left side. Ski, lots of room, 30, cutting his way. The quarterback, boy, cuts back a little too much, but he's still on his feet. Down to the 25. He lost about 5 or 6 yards coming back the other direction, but sometimes we can get a little too cute with that running, cutting back, rather than just squaring the shoulders and heading north to south. But still a nice first down run by your quarterback, Ski McWilliams, who's in the ball game now after first quarter duties really handled by Mason Martin, number 12. DeMarcus Bowman came in here in the second quarter, touched the ball one time so far for a 42-yard touchdown. He's set back, single set back with Howard and West. He's going to get it left side, but he runs right into number 40. That was, they watched that play the whole time. As nice penetration by the Bulls defense, particularly number 40, who came in pretty hard. Dylan Rightoff for the Bulls. Second down and 13. Coming up for the potent Knott offense. But a whistle blows before the play gets underway. Coach Castle, I think, wants to talk things over. That'll give us a chance to give you a few more announcements. The LHS PTP, which is the Parent-Teacher Partnership, November 13th has a general meeting. Time and location has changed. So for their general meeting, it will be Tuesday morning at 7:30 in the guidance office conference room. So if you want all the details or you want to be a part, Paul Howey was saying they really need some folks to step up with that PTP or the Parent-Teacher Partnership, and you can get all the information you want at lhsptp.com. So lhsptp.com, that is, for more information on the Parent-Teacher Partnership at Lakeland High School. Takes everyone. Just so much. Everyone has to kind of pick a role and do their part. The whole body's going to work together. Dreadnought family alive and well, and the continuing sponsorship from the Klein family, as you heard us read the rich history of Kleins that have played as Ski McWilliams. Nice fake, keeps the ball down 20, breaks a tackle, 15-10. Ski McWilliams cuts back at the 5, touchdown McWilliams. Wow. Fancy dancing there by the quarterback. As we've seen towards the second half of the season, Ski McWilliams started to really get more confidence with his legs, and part of it, as Jeff and I said, was maybe that he was healing up a little bit from an injury that plagued him in the first part of the season. You know, when you got that groin injury or leg injury that just is nagging and won't go away, finally when it heals, it's like Superman changing in the phone booth. He looks good, healthy, nice run by the skipper. Quarterback tacks on 6. Let's see if Hohenthaler can add that extra point. Whoa, there's another low one. Wow, how did that get through? Somehow that snuck over. Even the cannon thought it didn't get over. They waited. There's like, are you sure that made it? But the cannon did fire. That must mean it's good, so we'll take it. So Dreadnoughts with 9:42 now go up to 23-0 over the Wiregrass Bulls.
Dreadnought fans, please join us in the film room on the LHS campus this Monday night at 7 p.m. for the Dreadnought Highlight Report with Coach Bill Castle.
They're announcing here at the stadium, they are having that Castle highlight report this Monday, so if you'd like to watch that. Jace Hohenthaner wasting no time here with 9:42 in the second quarter. Set the boot scoot away. Getting a nice leg workout here in the first half. It is returnable at the 1 yard line. Same thing, boy, they like coming to this right side, and they found a seam this time. Cut back, but a good hit on number 5. Julian Gonzalez pays a good shot there, but it's a pretty nice return. Number 4, I think, is the one, Hall, for the Dreadnaughts on special teams defense that laid the lick on Gonzalez. Powerful shot. Right in front of the Dreadnought bench. That gets you pumped up, doesn't it? Tonight's webcast of the 2018 FHSA Class 7A Football Championship is sponsored by the Florida High School Athletic Association. The FHSAA is a democratic organization with a membership of more than 800 middle and senior high schools, all committed to ensuring that Florida student athletes can compete fairly and equitably in an educational environment. I'll finish that in just a moment as Sessom set, fakes the handoff to Miller, rolls out, fires. Gonzalez dropped right in the arms of Gonzalez at the 45. Would have been a nice reception, but he dropped it. So the Florida High School Athletic Association is building leaders through teamwork, sportsmanship, and citizenship. This is an FHSA sanctioned game. We are into the playoffs, so must abide by a little bit different set of rules here tonight, but still, same old Dreadnought football here at Bryant Stadium. It looks like thus far, Dreadnoughts leading 23-0. 10-0 on the regular season, trying to make it 11. And on their way. Sessom's strong eye formation is going to get blown dead. There is a flag on the play. 5-yard delay of game against the Bulls, just taking too long. Dreadnought band just having fun. They've kind of done their formal thing and done their program, got all superior ratings. They're just jamming down there in the north end zone. Strong eye formation. Sessom's hands off to the fullback. Gets hit at the line, spins, and maybe picks up an extra yard. But not much for big number 30. Cameron Lee. Tough defense. 3rd and 12, especially in the interior. Don't have an answer how you break that if you're a opposing offense this year. Looking at the last 7-8 games, and just not a lot of holes. If you can buy your quarterback enough time, our quarterback's still, not completely tested downfield. That's what they're going to do this time, and it's going to be picked off. They overthrow. Sessoms has been doing that all night long, and the Dreadnoughts are trying to set up this left side. It will be fumbled out of bounds, though, so it'll be Dreadnought ball. As he got hit from behind as he was going down, the ball came out. Number 16 for the Naughts, Tayshawn Nixon, the 12th grade defensive back, comes up with a nice turnover. Interception will look to get that turnover change, and there you get it. He gets the hardware. Yes, sir, Mr. Nixon.
The Dreadnoughts take over. First down and 10 from the Bulls, 47-yard line.
First down and 10 now from the 47 on the turnover. First official turnover of the night. We had the safety to start things off. Now an interception by Nixon. Had a few this season. Quarterback McWilliams hands off to, wow, Bowman has tons of room. Oh my goodness, look at DeMarcus Bowman go. He is juking, jiving, pushing, and down to the 3-yard line. That's not bad. So 2 carries for 80-some yards so far tonight for Bowman. So I stand corrected. It was only 32 yards. So, he's got some work to do. 42 and 74 yards on his first 2 carries. Ski McWilliams has got a bunch as well, the quarterback. Maybe Coach Castle just didn't want to come out with guns blazing early in the first quarter. The Bulls band making the long trip over. They're dancing over there, but I don't hear any sound coming out of them. Is that the pantomime version of the band? As the Naughts hand off to Bowman, right side, following blockers. Bowman skips in. Debo with his second touchdown of the night. He's only had 3, or I can't remember if there's a 4th carry in there, but man, oh man. You can't even say chewing up yardage because it's just almost looks unfair when he gets the ball and there's a hole like that. His biggest decision is which side do I want to score? Do I want to score in the middle of the field or on the right hash? And how do I want to make the highlight reel look? Those are his tough decisions right now as he's breaking from the backfield and having gobs of green space in front of him. J-Ho, kaboom. That was a little, got it up there a couple more feet. 2 plays, 46 yards for the Naughts on that offensive possession with 7:41 still remaining in the first half. Wowza. Let's go ahead and take a brief timeout as you're watching the 2018 FHSA football regional quarterfinal on the Lakeland Football Webcast. Stay with us.
Good times, and all the flavor of New Orleans at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill.
Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill. Makes you want some of that chicken Louisiana every time I see that. Staple down there in downtown, the heart of downtown Lakeland. As the Dreadnought kick, it peaked out of bounds and it came back in. Number 2 is going to just struggle to get beyond the 10. He gets piled by the special teams of the Naughts. I don't know if that was ill-advised to pick up that or not. It was a live ball, so it looked like it was going out of bounds. Then it maybe kind of hopped back in play, and number 2 for Wiregrass, Noah Bigelow had to pick it up or else it was a live ball. So not good field position to try to overcome a 30-0 lead here in the first half. Still 7:31 second quarter. 24 for the Naughts, limping a little bit. Sean Smith there in front of the camera. He's got his ankles heavily taped. It could be a past little injury, not sure. The Dreadnought D staying on course tonight. Just not making it easy at all for Sessoms, who spreads the field. He's been trying to throw the ball now. He's getting pressure, rolls out, having to scramble. Nice toss. That was a great little pass on the run by Sessoms to number 8, Jonathan Tillis. Perhaps their best play of the night on offense. With Sessoms just scrambling for his life back there and just did 3 quick stutter steps to get free of the pursuit, and then on the run hit number 8 Tillis for a nice first down. Credit where credit is due. That was a beautiful play. Can they keep things going? Strong eye. Number 5, Gonzalez, gets set to the backfield. He's kind of a decoy as Miller gets the ball right side. He does bounce off the first wave of tacklers, but I think that was Nixon actually that got him. Tayshawn Nixon, who just had the interception on the last series, which the Dreadnoughts capitalized on, primarily running on the legs of Debo. A couple of nice runs, 32 yards. And I believe it was about 10 yards for the scoring drive. 2nd and 7. Shotgun, high snap. Quarterback's going to keep it off the left side of the line. Number 44 is going to grab him and drag him down with a host of other Naughts. Khalil Crawford. Nice play. 2-yard gain still. 3rd and 5, we'll call it. You know, you could just, hard for me to spot everything by myself, but if you were just to call it the defensive plays, one thing you'd see all season, it's not just the same guy. I mean, you're calling everyone, it gets in on the action, and that's why this defense is so productive, because there's not a weak spot. Everyone is doing their job. Is Miller, left side. What great, how in the world was he back there that fast? Latrell Jean. I would love to see that. I don't know how he got back in the backfield that fast and wrapped up the runner, but he was all over it. I mean, must have had a fantastic jump, timed it perfectly, and just no one was there to stop the big man. Latrell, unfortunately, is a senior, 6'3", 265 pounds. I think since the beginning of the season, a lot of these high school kids have grown an inch. That's how fast they grow. So if these rosters weren't updated in the last month and a half or 2 months, these kids are probably taller and a little bit thicker. A little bit high snap again. Here come the Naughts. Gets it away. It's a two-hopper to Howard. Howard's going to stutter step and makes a couple good moves and gets wrapped up. A nice little nifty return at about the 27-yard line for Howard. Well, that ball had some momentum on it. That thing hit the ground and took off, and he picked it up on a two-hopper like a second baseman. Got a few positive yards on the return. Ski McWilliams pops in. Not sure who's coming out there, but Ski is going to continue to run this second quarter out. Wouldn't be surprised if we see some other players here in the second half of this game as Coach Castle calls a timeout. It is actually official timeout for the second quarter water break. We'll keep it here for just a moment with 4:40 remaining and the Dreadnaughts leading 30-0. You can always get some more information on the FHSAA website as well. They kind of keep things documented. FHSAA is actually now on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Wow, they got it covered. Tweet us, like us, and tag us on your social platforms by searching for FHSAA. Keep up with teams and people who strive to make high school athletics in the state of Florida the best. Be a fan of it all by following us on social media at FHSAA. McWilliams hands off straight up the middle. So as we just said, you can get all the latest official news about Florida high school sports, including the results of the round. So if you want to keep up with those brackets in the 2018 FHSAA football championships, you can visit FHSAA.org. That's the official website of Florida High School Athletic Association. That's www.fhsaa.org. McWilliams, nice pitch, deep pitch. Bowman gets it way like 5 yards deep, but it's got a head of steam. Bowman cuts back to the left side. Bowman on the run. Are you kidding me? DeMarcus Bowman, one man. There's no way he's going to get him. 10-5, looking back. Debo scores again. Third touchdown of the night for DeMarcus Bowman. Putting on a show. That's just ridiculous. Oh, I see a couple West and a couple guys just come out shaking their head. And man, I'm glad he's on our side. I don't read lips well, but I could just tell that's what Kadarian West was saying. Hey, did you see him just paint an artistic picture out there on the field? Just an artist running the ball tonight. DeMarcus Bowman. coming alive, the Knots, and Jace Hohenthal. That's what it's supposed to look like, Jace. Getting a little clearance on that extra point. The Knots go up 37-zip here. So I do not know in championship FHSA football if there is a running clock or not. I must tell you, I'm not sure if that's still in play, if the same rules apply, if it's automatic at a certain point, or the coaches have to agree on it in the second half, no matter what in the playoffs. So we don't know that. We'll see what happens. But the Knots up right now, 37-0, breaking that magical 35-point barrier. Plant and Gaither close tonight. It looked like 15-10 was the score, if I heard that correctly. I heard a score earlier where the crowd oohed and awed. I didn't get what it was because I was looking at something else, but I didn't say that. Coverage of Florida high school sports at www.nfhsnetwork.com is brought to you by the NFHS Network. So they are partners of the FHSAA. So they wanted me to make sure that I told you that. I know you were on the edge of your seat for that last bit of information. Jace with the high ball up near the lights. Gonzalez trying to return it again. And nice defensive play on special teams. That was beautiful. Number 30 just came charging in. Tayshawn Rodman on special teams. Beautiful solo tackle. Nice muggy night here in the press box. Bryant Stadium, Bill Castlefield, no place you'd rather be on a Friday night in fall. Playoff action. Thank you for joining us, one and all, if you're hanging in there on this webcast. Brought to you by the Klein family. Wouldn't be without them, that is for sure. Goes without saying that Mid-State Industrial Maintenance, a fine company, but known obviously for the contributions on the field here at Lakeland High School over the years, consistently too. Sessoms rolls out left side. He's looking deep again. He's going to fire it. Uh-oh, that one is a lame duck. Watch out. Picked off again. Finley Graham this time. He's going to move his way through, looking for some blockers, gets to the outside. Finley Graham at the 30 is going to be slung out of bounds right there. Second pickoff of the night. Finley Graham just had to keep concentration as poor Sessoms just trying to make anything happen, tried to launch one down the field and just ill-advised. There were 4 or 5 Dreadnaughts there with one receiver. We've had some of the Klein family intercept some balls over the years. Of course, Jim Klein, again, that class of 69. Greg in class of 73. Jeff, class of 74. Kyle, class of 2003. And Colin, many of you more recent would remember, just in 2007. So thank you for their constant dedicated support, not just monetarily, but many other ways from the Klein family. Ski McWilliams calling for the ball, getting lots of pressure, just rolls out, cuts back, breaks a tackle, throws it now, has a man wide open, caught, West, touchdown! Gadarian West off the left side. Ski McWilliams just kept that alive. There is a flag at the 30-yard line. That may come back. Pretty to watch, though. Celebration might be for not as careful there, number 11, hopefully, and just nice jest. I don't think you're supposed to touch the referees. They can get pretty testy about that if you're not being friendly. That was Lloyd Summerall. See if that was after the touchdown or if that one's going to be brought back. I'm going to get a swig of water here for 1 minute while you watch the refs have a tea party. And I'm back. They're waving it off. Look at that. Touchdown Knots. There you go. Okie dokie. One for the good guys. Not sure what that was going to be, but it is not. No matter what it was going to be, it isn't. It's waved off. You could say the Dreadnought ship is roaring through pretty smooth waters at the moment. They are chugging along. Oh, high snap, and probably good by Howard to try to run the ball. He's going to do his best to get in, but there's just too many defenders there. He looked for someone to pass it to, so just a high snap, and rather than having Jace try an ill-advised kick, he just tried to make something happen on a two-point conversion, but not successful. So Schemick Williams on the 30-yard touchdown pass to West.
The Wiregrass Ranch Bulls, 0.
He's getting hugs by Mama down there on the sideline.
The Dreadnought Marketplace is still
That's
open.
Keon.
Don't miss this opportunity to shop for your holiday gift.
Number 9, Keon Zipper, looks like he's greeting some family members.
Tonight's sponsor of the game is
Great support.
Lopez Marats and Light Team. Thank you for your constant
2:29
support
left.
of Dreadnought football. We would also like to remind you to visit the concession stand to support your LHS Dreadnought marching band.
Thanks again to Hollywood Cafe, in particular Aunt Tia, who fed us here in the press box. Also, I think had some cupcakes coming up that I didn't get one. I don't think there's still going to be any at halftime left. But Hollywood Cafe on Winter Lake Road, across the street from Travis Technical School. Thank you, Aunt Tia, for feeding the players and feeding us. That's some awesome. They had these wings with some. I thought it was hot sauce stuff, but it was this red jelly stuff that just made them oh so delectable. Gonzalez gets pushed out of bounds by our own number 5, Jason Hampton. It was a nickel back, a nickel crunch. So what do you say? Yes, I'm posing this question to all of you listening. What would you say to your team at halftime if you were Coach Mark Cantor from the Wiregrass Ranch Bulls? I'm just saying, what kind of pep talk do you bring down 43-0 in the first half, and your starters didn't even come into the second quarter? That's a tricky one. It's a tough sell, I'll tell you. But great learning experience nonetheless, as Sessoms continues to hand off. Just not much in the playbook. If you try to pass it more than 15 yards, he's been getting picked off because there's just not enough support back there to give him time to set his feet and make the throw he wants. He's got a good arm. We've seen him go sideline to sideline, almost like a 35-yard pass to the other sideline, but on a rope. But when you have a bunch of orange jerseys charging at you in a mighty way and no help back there, it's just lost. He's trying, though. I formation. Sessoms again. Hands up. Throws it out of bounds. No one there. Going for Gonzalez again, but just no one there with just under a minute to play now in the second quarter. And I do see Fred. You can pop in here, Fred Lopez. Get you your gear on. You're old hat at this stuff. We look a little different, but I hope we still sound relatively the same. I don't know what we sound like. We'll get Michael Barrett. Fred Lopez is putting on the gear. If you got him turned on, we're going to start our halftime a little bit early here with Fred helping me out assessing the performance by the Naughts. I just hear we're good to go. So you're on, Mr. Lopez.
Great.
Feels good.
It does feel good. Good to see you,
we've
man.
We've got a few stories that we could go over, I'm sure.
We sure do.
Among many. Just
it looks like it's the same bat time, same bat channel, right?
It could be. There's not much that's differentiated between what the Naughts have done in the last 7 games and what's going on here tonight with 43-0. Common theme on defense, too. For
different names, same, different names, but it's the same game plan, right?
What do you tell? I was just asking that question. What do you tell your team if you're the coach for Wiregrass at halftime?
Running clock.
Please.
Please. I'd be talking to Bill Castle and say, let's just run the clock, Coach, and don't start your boys in the second half.
I get. Obviously, we're advancing to the regional semifinal next week, unless something beyond a miracle happens for the Bulls. But
right.
It's a learning experience. I know it's hard to come in here and expect to win against the Naughts, who are just on a roll this year. Again, looking 9 points only scored against the defense in the past 7 games. Freddie, I mean, tough challenge. I'm
looking at the team, and I was just studying the guys defensively. I haven't seen a more good-looking group in quite some time. I mean, our secondary is strong. I mean, Finley Graham just made that interception. I mean, that high rebound catch and ran it back effortlessly. The quarterback. I mean, these are just athletes, and they're not just talented, but they got size. I was looking at number 98, the defensive tackle that dances there on the field a little bit, and from the sidelines, he doesn't look that big, but he's 6'3", big kids.
And as you know, Freddie,
very athletic.
Punter obviously struggling tonight in a mighty way, not getting much help back there. As let's see if Howard picks it up. He tries to on the run, fumble, big turnover, but they're not going to have much time left.
No.
Unfortunately, came at a bad time for the Bulls.
Well, the boys are just playing with a high level of confidence right now, and they're just stuff like that's going to happen.
What you said is so true. Just I don't remember time either. You have to go back 2005, 2006 to see a complete team like this. And you can, as you can coach a lot in high school football, but you also have to have that natural ability on the field. And they've got that field awareness. They've got that just skill level to see what's going on. I mean, they've got it all.
These kids are playing like they're prepared, and that's just a typical Bill Castle football team. But they've got the size and the talent to go with it. So when coaches got kids that are executing and they've got ability, oh my goodness, that's when we're going to make a run. And I think that's what we got this year.
I would agree wholeheartedly with you. And I tell you what we're going to do. We, I think, are going to send this off to one little quick commercial, and then we're going to be back in front of the camera with Fred Lopez to talk a little bit more about Lakeland football and what's going on in the world with Fred Lopez. So you're watching and listening to the 2018 FHSA football regional quarterfinal on the Lakeland football webcast. We'll be right back.
Juniors and seniors, submit your A's and B's to Bartow Ford for your chance to win a new Mustang. Visit DriveForExcellence.com for official rules. The 25th annual Drive for Excellence with Bartow Ford. We're different, and we prove it.
This is what you expect.
Well, don't worry. The whole family's going to like this. It's not going to be here tomorrow, I'll tell you that much. And Judith, don't worry about that. We'll fix it. We're going to handle everything.
And this is a different experience.
Welcome to Regal.
Finding qualified staff isn't easy. Sifting through resumes, verifying candidates, conducting interviews, and running a business? Who has time? You need Staff Builders HR. Whether you're looking for 1 person or 500, we don't use hope. We use science, evaluating data from more than 2.5 million resumes to find you the perfect employee. Staff Builders HR, the science of matching great people with great companies.
Good times, and all the flavor of New Orleans at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill.
We're back here
We're on.
We're on.
All
right.
You can say that. You can
I
start
love
off
it.
that.
I love
because what Freddie was just saying was, hey, what happens if Kathleen was we're kind of talking a little bit of football up here as we used to again.
That's it.
It's nice to say old friend, and we can do that because some of the friends that you have just never go away, and the same great people, and we love this Lopez family. And Fred is a kind sponsor and does a lot of things behind the scenes too, Fred. And I know you're humble too, but you help out a lot with Lakeland High School football, and just as proud as all of us are of this program and Coach Castle and these kids and what it represents, but not only for Lakeland, but even around the state and around the country. When you say Lakeland, you go off almost anywhere. A lot of people will say, do you know the Dreadnaughts? Do you know Coach Castle?
Exactly right.
It's really neat. And just tell a little bit about, obviously you played for Coach Bill Castle, and many people know that, a while back.
Yep.
But you got to experience firsthand what it's like to sit in the locker room with him, and many of us obviously have not. And just talk a little bit about, in generalities, what your feeling is about the program and Coach Castle. And
Tim, I don't know that I can say it in just the few minutes that we got, but I'm really here at halftime just to be an ambassador for Coach, because I played for him, coached with him, and then now as a booster, I've had the privilege to just sit beside him and plan for the good of our kids and our community. But the thing that he preached and still preaches to this day is emphasizing the kids, emphasizing the supporters, and just all and our sponsors. Where would we be without our everyday people? Where would we be without our sponsors? And of course, parents and the kids. It's all about them. It's all about our players.
Yeah, and everyone's stepping up to do a part. It's not just one person.
Everybody.
No one can do it alone. It takes a whole team, and that's, I think, what makes the Knots so successful. Is you see everywhere from people that bring up water to the press box to everything. Everyone's got a job to do and does it extremely well at a high level of excellence. And then you get a program like this, but it's very unusual across the country to have this kind of family and this kind of just teamwork together, and it's something special.
Well, we all, those of us that have been here a long time, and you and I graduated together, class of '87, and then I've seen you. I know it's a long time, and then here we are, and you've been an amazing supporter, calling the games for years. But I was a part of the Booster Club years ago, and I've recently rejoined the board, and this new board is amazing. They're doing some amazing things, and I'd love to brag about it for a few minutes if I could.
We don't get to hear them enough. Yeah, the names and what they do for us, just a few people.
I first want to talk about just our team.
Yeah.
We've got we've got a big team, but we've got 13 special players, and a handful of these special players are being recruited by some big-time schools, and I just wanted to highlight a few of these kids.
You kind of get, being on the booster clubs, Freddie gets kind of privy to talking with Coach and what's happening in the action. So this is good first-hand information right here that you probably wouldn't hear otherwise.
Well, I mean, my goodness, Finley Graham, DeMarcus Bowman, Keon Zipperer. I wanted to brag a little bit about J-Ho. He's the kicker, right?
Yeah.
Jace Hohenthaler.
You know what will happen to kickers.
Kickers can make or break you, right?
Absolutely.
And he's, I hear his family is, they don't miss the Monday night meetings, and they're amazing supporters. And, we want to highlight kids like this, and they give back. Khalil Crawford, I heard he just recently committed to the Naval Academy. His grandfather went to the Air Force Academy. I mean, these are kids that are playing ball, and they're thinking about academics and the next level of their life. Yeah. Just cool stuff. We've got David Williams coming home, former Houston Oilers. Just big-time tradition, big-time support.
Of course, we talked about the Klein family is a webcast sponsor tonight.
Absolutely.
On this end, and it gets
his kids play.
Amazing, right? Going through the years all the way back from 1969. Near when we were born, they had a Klein coming every 7 or 8 years.
Bingo.
And that's the kind of tradition.
And where would we be without that consistent generational support?
Yeah. We like to make that go as long as it'll go, obviously. And as you said, behind the scenes people, the booster clubs are the people that really help make it run.
I wanted to brag about a few of these people.
Please.
Again, I'm on the board, but this board is way bigger, way more powerful.
Well deserved.
They're really good. I wanted to brag about Joe Beavis and Leslie Norman. Steve Madden, he's heading the. Steve, if you're out there, man, I just want to tell you I love you. Big time president. Taking us to a whole nother level. Him and Joe DeCesare, Keith Deloche, Alice O'Reilly, Bruce Lieber. We've got several members of the board, but these are the people that are just they're really moving and creating some amazing things. Jill and Leslie have come up with the Dreadnought Wave. I wanted to brag about that. I mean, what we're doing with the Dreadnought Wave at the end of the first quarter, waving the lights. I just wrote here. It's an amazing partnership with LRMC, teaching our kids how to care for others in our community. Just cool stuff.
That's what it's about.
We've got a movie night coming up. Leslie Norman is heading this up on December the 1st at 6 p.m. We're going to be showing Elf here at
cool.
Bryant Stadium.
Oh, that's
You can buy
awesome.
tickets at Lakeland High
When
School.
is that again?
It's going to be the movie Elf, starring Will Ferrell, the
Yeah.
classic Christmas movie, Saturday, December the 1st at 6 p.m.
Okay, and anyone's invited to that? They have a ticket?
If you have a ticket, you can come watch. If you're a Dreadnought supporter, this is going to be better than the Silver Moon Drive-In right here.
That could be good.
Come support the Knots and let's get in the Christmas spirit.
Let's fill this place up. That might be one I bring my girls to. That'd be a lot of
Oh
fun.
man, it's going to be great. Yeah. And of course, where would we be without our other sponsors?
We've had some memorable games.
I wouldn't
just
mind
have been- No one will, I think. So even the coaches might be already looking ahead of that one a little bit. But a lot of football to be played first.
But I can assure you, Coach isn't. He's a He's a one game at a time guy. I can promise you. But it's fun with the type of team that we've got this year.
It's a possibility.
It's a possibility, and there's an excitement in the air.
I would agree with that.
I'd love another shot at St. Thomas.
That'd be good. And I have some of those old tapes, and every once in a while, just go back and they're on YouTube now, of course, but you can go back and watch some of those games. And just unbelievable football talent for this level. And again, as Fred said, I think we have that type of team this year that brings that kind of overall performance ability.
I just don't see a weakness. I see we've got a strong kicking game. We've got a quarterback that's athletic, who can throw. He can make things happen on his feet. We've got a star running back. And Coach used to tell me, you're blessed if you get one really good running back in your whole career.
I've
laughed at him. How many running backs? Just when Chris Rainey and Johnny Mack, we've had so many. And just when you think you've had those guys, you're like, we'll never do this again, and then they just keep coming.
The Taylors,
where Jamar Taylor, Ronnie Galashaw. I could just name them. LaConya Worlds, Rod Smart. We've had so many. My goodness,
that really is ridiculous. Like watching Bowman run, it's like an art form watching.
And great quarterbacks. We've had some great quarterbacks.
Yeah, and it's even though a lot of them maybe haven't gone off to the next level, for high school they're perfect at doing what you need to do to accomplish what you need to do. Dishing the ball off, and in the second half, once McWilliams has healed up a little bit, his running ability, that's another huge weapon we really didn't even have in the first half of the season. No. Now that he's healed up a little bit.
That's right. That's we've got some depth. And then we're strong at all the starting positions. Yeah. And we're controlling the game on the line of scrimmage. We've got a D line and an offensive line like I haven't seen in a while. Yeah. I think we can. We're going to take this thing one game at a time. I know Coach would really want me to say that, and I'm going to say that. And we're not going to worry about down the road. We're going to worry about next week and then the week after. But I think as a booster and as a fan, how can you not be enjoying this moment? This is great.
It's a lot of fun. And one of the things that Fred and I always joked about was that at the end of the broadcast on the radio, Fred just, whenever he had the whim, he would just stand up and say, "I'm out." And I'd see like a trail of Freddie just leaving. He'd be like, "Conti, you got it, man." And I'd have to wrap it up, which is fine for most of the games. But when you're in a hostile environment like Niceville, and they want to rip your head off, and he's goading him on, and then he leaves. That's a true buddy right there. It puts you in that was a character tester.
Well, they were really nice in Niceville until the game started, and then their faces and their complexions changed. Their pupils dilated. It was just and then I started having some banter back and forth with some of the fans right beneath me,
right below us. Yeah.
And right. And before the game was over, I knew I had to leave. And Tim, I'm sorry to put you out. I thought they were coming after me.
It was brutal. The stares that I got, there was like 4 or 5 minutes left in the game, and
we were surrounded by 14 to 15 state troopers in the middle of the field. The entire team, the boosters, parents. It was a hostile environment, but those are memories.
And
I think Tim was. I think I left you all by yourself in the press box. I apologize for that.
No one else was there. Like everyone left, and I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, that was the quickest 40-yard dash time that Fred Lopez has ever run getting out of there. So
oh, my goodness.
He set some records. So this is a great time.
We got the win, though. We got the win.
Barely, but we
controversial win, but we got
it. It was. That was something to talk about. But a lot of fun, and, again, making memories is part of what this is all about. And Fred Lopez joining me, again, great supporter, brings back a lot of memories. And thank you, obviously, great with his
You're
business,
welcome.
Allen & Company as well, too. We just appreciate all you do and Allen & Company does for the community as well. That's what we're all here to help the Lakeland community in general.
We want to do our part. We never want to be accused of not doing our part. We love our community. We've been around a long time. Lakeland's been around a long time. As long as they're here, we're here.
That's all you could ever ask.
That's it.
With that, I tell you what, we're going to take it for a brief timeout, send it back for some commercial play. Fred's going to stay with me, hang out a little bit, do some color commentating. So
we're going to have a little fun.
In just a minute, we're going to have a good time. Stay with us. We'll be right back after these messages.
school juniors and seniors. Submit your A's and B's to Bartow Ford for your chance to win a new Mustang. Visit DriveFordExcellence.com for official rules. The 25th annual Drive for Excellence with Bartow Ford. We're different, and we prove it.
This is what you expect.
Well, don't worry. The whole family's gonna like this. It's not gonna be here tomorrow, I'll tell you that much. It's beautiful. Oh, don't worry about that. We'll fix it. We're gonna handle everything.
And this is a different experience.
Welcome to Regal.
Finding qualified staff isn't easy. Sifting through resumes, verifying candidates, conducting interviews, and running a business? Who has time? You need Staff Builders HR. Whether you're looking for one person or 500, we don't use hope. We use science, evaluating data from more than 2.5 million resumes to find you the perfect employee. Staff Builders HR, the science of matching great people with great companies.
Good times, and all the flavor of New Orleans at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill.
Few law firms can pinpoint an exact moment that inspired its founding purpose. For Smith, Fedler & Smith, it was 1942, when H. Guy Smith's uncle was paralyzed after a fall in a sawmill. He died 14 months later, leaving behind a family in need. The loss inspired Smith to found his law firm to fight for the rights of workers, the injured, and their families. To this day, Smith, Fedler & Smith remains committed to his mission. Smith, Fedler & Smith.
Bartow Ford is proud to announce that we've won the President's Award for the 19th time. You would need to leave the state of Florida to find a dealer that's won it more. Sales volume and customer satisfaction is how you win. And let's face it, you wouldn't sell a lot of vehicles if you didn't offer the lowest price around and take care of customers the very best. But why don't I have them up on the wall? Because a long time ago, my father taught me that our people are what make the difference. Other dealerships, they can have their gimmicks and games. We'll take people that care. Bartow Ford, we're different, and we prove it.
Welcome back, everybody, to Bryant Stadium, Bill Castle Field, as we are engaging here in the second half in just a few moments. A lot of fun talking with Fred. He's going to be back up here. He went to try to go run down a slug of water, and he'll be back up. While we do that, we can read another message from the Florida High School Athletic Association, which recognizes its corporate partners who help make the FHSAA football championships possible. Team IP, the official merchandising company of the FHSAA. Gatorade Thirst Quencher, fueling the future. Mainlight Events, the official photo company of the FHSAA. Balfour, the official supplier of championship rings for the FHSAA. Spectrum Sports, the official television partner of the FHSAA. Max Preps, official scores and statistics. GoFan, official online ticket provider. The NFHS Network, the official online partner of the FHSAA. And Wilson, provider of the official game ball for the 2000 FHSAA football championships. So there you go. Everyone has to have some help, and the corporate sponsors for the FHSAA. 43-0 your score here, Friday Night Football, Friday Lakeland football webcast. As the Knots doing well, thank you for joining us and listening wherever you may be tonight.
The winner of tonight's game advances to next week's regional semifinal game, where we'll face the winner of the game between the Harmony Longhorns and the Kathleen Red Devils. Check FHSAA.org for the site and time of this game. That game is currently at halftime. Kathleen leads 13-3. Again, the Kathleen-Harmony game is at halftime. Kathleen leads.
Don't know if you're able to hear that over the stadium announcer, but the speakers are pretty loud. You may have heard that Kathleen and Harmony are at their halftime. Kathleen leads Harmony 13-3 right now at the half. So still a long way to go. That's a tight game, obviously. But whoever wins that game will be coming here to Bryant Stadium next week. Don't know how we're going to pull off. We may not have the post-game interviews tonight. We may have to check with the head man, as he just told me the definitive answer. We will not have any post-game interviews. I can pretty much sum it up for you, though. Probably in this one. I bet I could do a pretty good post-Castle impression. We've heard him so many times. So we shall see what transpired in the locker room, if in fact both coaches agreed upon the running clock, or if that's just kind of what's going to be happening here.
The Dreadnought girls golf team for their 6th place finish in the state tournament. Congratulations, girls golf team, on a tremendous season.
Pooch lobbing it, as again the Dreadnoughts won the kickoff, as Keon Zipper is just going to plow some folks and drag a few
Zipper on the kickoff return.
Players about 5 or 6 yards at the 44-yard line. The Knots will take over. Big old Keon just rumbling down, picking up about 10 yards on that return. He's like, "Oh, me? That's me." As Fred was mentioning, a lot of scouts looking at a multitude of Dreadnought players this year on the roster to go to that next level at one school or another. And we say a lot of these seniors, they may never play football again. With the Lakeland this year, a lot of the seniors will play another down of football again. As Reggie Kellum now getting the call as Bowman comes out. Reggie Kellum again, I have to check his shoes. He did that earlier in the first half, but slipped down seemingly with no pressure other than the turf under his feet. Still a first down carry for Reginald. Seeing some other jerseys. Ellefson coming in there, number 22 also for the Knots. Popping in the ball game, Tay McWilliams. Tay is in the backfield. Handoff from Martin back in. Nice little hole off the left side for. Look at Tay busting the shoulder at the 30-yard line and picking up an extra 4 yards. What a nice hard little run by number 22, Tay McWilliams. That was a good little pounding there right in front of the Dread. If you're going to do it, that's where to do it, right in front of the Dreadnought bench to get the oohs and ahs. 16-yard jaunt from Tay. Tay Mac. That's an easy one. Howard and Zipper go to the far side. Mason Martin, M&M. Started the game, now back in here in the third quarter. Handoff to the same running back, Tay McWilliams. Picks up a few good yards on first down. Does appear to be a running clock here at Bill Castle Field.
Play gain 5 yards, brings up
5-yard nice gain, 2nd down and 5. A very nice young man just brought me a fresh cold water. That was very much appreciated. You can tell him thank you. Ah, that's a good belly wash right there. Martin, handoff, number 22. Oh, good blocking. Tay McWilliams just following big number 57, who just absolutely still pushing. What a great block. Who is that masked man? Willie Lampkin. Willie Lampkin, the 12th grade offensive lineman, just pushed his defensive player a good 15 yards back. That looked like a Pouncey out there pummeling somebody. I just still have that vivid image of, I can't remember if it was Marquise or Michael, just one of the games here, got fired up and just drove one of the guys from the 20-yard line back into the fence in the north end zone. Pouncey twins had some ability to do what Lampkin just did, was push the defender back about 15 yards and create some space for the running back. Number 22, McWilliams. This is Mason Martin on the carry himself, just keeps it. So interesting call. Don't know why Coach Castle started off. Any thoughts on why he started off with Martin and the backup running back Kellum and then waited till the second quarter to bring McWilliams and Bowman in? Wanted to ease into things, did we?
The only thing I can think of, Tim, is that maybe something happened this week, and
a little slap on the wrist.
He's trying to create a little bit of discipline before we go deeper into the playoffs, and it's not uncommon at this stage for the kids to just be a bit overconfident. We're 10-0, having a lot of success. The kids might be thinking, "Oh, we got this. We're really good." I think and sometimes that's his way of getting their attention.
Ellefson goes in motion. Martin hands off to, I think that's McWilliams over there on the 5. So spun around, picks up a few yards. But, yeah, you always think, Freddie, of that hiccup game or that letdown game that sometimes comes. And a lot of it's not because you don't have the ability. It's because, again, you just kind of a little full of yourselves and watch the disciplines and watch the things that got you there. And a couple turnovers, and then, boom, you could be in trouble against any team, really. So you got to stay disciplined, and maybe that's what Coach Castle, in fact, did.
That's exactly what's going on. He wants to make sure that they stay humble, that they stay focused, and rest assured there will be a game where we're going to be tested, and he wants them to be at peak performance, peak concentration, peak humility, whole 9 yards.
3rd down and goal to go at the 6. Late pitch. It's going to be a fumble, loose ball. It's going to be kicked around and I believe picked up by the Bulls at about the 3-yard line. Crazy play there. We've had a couple pitches which have been really long, kind of ill-advised. Don't remember the smooth days of that option when we had that nice little flip pitch. Didn't look so smooth right now, but still working on that. A little bit of a miscue there, but good idea. Just a little bit of poor execution.
And I think at this stage in the game and with this score, you're going to see the kids a little bit lackadaisical at this point. And Tim, you and I've talked about this before. When I was coaching, this is right about the time when I'm getting pretty nervous and I'm yanking on coach and saying, "Hey, get the starters out." Don't want nobody getting hurt.
Coach Castle gets into the
it
flow
looks like
of games so much.
It looks like he's got some kids in there now, so he's got some of the backups in there right now. It looks like.
Yep, saw a lot fresh jerseys there on offense, so now flipping it maybe on defense. Clock is a running as Messams drops back, has had a rough go of it back there, but makes a nice pass out to the 11-yard line. Good throw with some ability and a decent little run yards after the catch for number 2 out there. So Sessoms he's got a good arm, Freddie. Just, when you don't have time to throw it, what can you do, really?
That's just it. I mean, the game is won and lost on that line of scrimmage. If you got pressure coming from that defensive line, it doesn't matter how good you are really at quarterback. You're just going to be running for your life the whole time.
It could be Tom Brady back there if you got no time to do anything. Well, that might be different.
Well, I mean, listen, that's been Florida State's struggle.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Doesn't matter. They're surrounded by talent, but if you don't have an offensive line, you're running for your life.
There you go. First down. Nice pitch and catch against Sessoms. Drops back, throws a screen, sets it up a little bit low.
Nice
and
hit.
Pounded. Yeah, good good job of the defensive back coming up and hammering Miller, who's been their go-to running back, but they tried to get him on a screen, just didn't work.
And this is good. I mean, hopefully the game is over, but it's nice. It's nice practice for these backups because you never know if we have a key injury, and we've had key injuries in the playoffs going deep. Specifically 1999, we won the state championship with a backup quarterback. You don't want to be in a situation like that, but getting these reps is very important for these backups.
Handoff Miller, left side, has a little gap, peeks his way through. Nice 6-yard run on second down, picks up that loss of a yard. 3rd and 5, I think, about upcoming. Yeah, we've been, you hate to even talk about it, but we've been relatively clean. A few minor injuries this year, but that can certainly make an enormous difference on a team like this. Yes, we have talent at all skilled positions, but you take out 2 or 3 guys, and sometimes just that flow and momentum gets disrupted a little bit.
Especially when we're 2 platooning like Coach does. He believes in, having an offense and a defense and all different starters. You lose a position, it's now you might have to move around some athletes, and they might not have had some experience at that position.
Sessoms throws deep into double coverage and well broken up. Number 40 was back there for the Knots. That is Malik Whitaker. Good job. Dangerous pass, but why not? Give it a rip.
Tim,
Bulls.
Bill Marshall wanted me to direct everybody to Marshall Jewelers for movie night to purchase tickets. They're $3 a piece.
Very good. There
for
you
December
go.
the 1st. So if you're interested in Dreadnaught movie night, watching The Elf starring Will Ferrell, please visit Marshall Jewelers. Tickets are $3.
And you can't say you don't like that movie. Everyone likes that movie. That would be just a lot of fun if we pack this place out.
I think it's going to be the first movie in the history of Dreadnought football that we've ever seen in Bryant Stadium.
And
that is amazing.
Beautiful Jumbotron, Naughtitron, whatever you'd like to affectionately name it, and it's going to be up on the Jumbotron, and it's going to be a great time. The speakers are fantastic. The sound's going to be wonderful.
We're going to have
hopefully a little cooler weather.
Cooler
so
weather,
up a little
and
bit.
I've been told that we're going to have some amazing concessions. So there's going to be food. There's going to be food and drinks. People can bring your lawn chairs and just sit right in the middle of the field. And, how many people have had the privilege of being right in the center of Bryant Stadium watching a movie?
I don't doubt, too, that
so we want to fill up that stadium.
A few little Frisbees or footballs or something maybe towards the north end.
I can see all kinds of little kids, people out here with their families. It's going to be amazing. Great night.
Yeah, so we'll continue to promote that a little bit, but only $3, folks, and that'd be a very cheap family night for what's out there most of the time with entertainment nowadays.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's a deal.
They might even be able to meet some Dreadnought players.
That's right. That would be nice. Of course, the Knots 2 weeks ago having the bye week last week, Freddie did a good job of really putting it to Kathleen. But, even if they come here next week again, as you talked about, you just never know with those guys. We've had such so many years.
We never enjoyed playing the same team twice. That's always dangerous. We just got to come out with a strong game plan, and I promise you, Coach is not going to underestimate that team. There they are.
They're having a good time tonight anyway. Sessoms rolls out right side, getting pressure, lets it go. Nice pass. Caught at the 45 and then run out of bounds there.
Looks like we're going to have
going to be a little bit of a late
hit penalty. This is about that time where the kids they just get a little. They got to be careful on both sides of both teams. They just got to be careful both sides. And the other team's going to be frustrated. They're playing frustrated.
Yeah.
And so things like this are just going to happen.
And there's the ref's reaching for another flag on one of the coaches. Some other things that got said, and it can happen quick. I mean, it's high emotions, and even the other refs saying, "Okay, it's okay, calm down now." The ref got fired up there. The coach, you can hear the coaches over here to the left of me laughing kind of at what the ref was saying.
Telling his assistants, "Hey guys, hey," and the players are down there having fun with the coaches. It's great. Yep. Well, they just have to be careful. Mm-hmm. They want to play like champions and win like champions.
So 2 personal fouls, dead ball 1, and it'll be a first down, no question about it. And they'll keep marching the ball forward, and we'll give the
These are the
Bulls, their best field position
These are
of
the
the
kind
night.
of issues that you want to have. You want to be up significantly at halftime, but then there's some these are just some of the negatives that kind of come with it: the complacency, the confidence, the overconfidence, stuff like that.
As parents-
but I'd rather have this problem. This is a good problem to have.
And coaches, we know, you call those teachable moments if you can do it as
That's
much
it.
as, and maybe even for some of the coaches is
They're learning.
it's good stuff. They're announcing the movie that Freddie and I just talked about here over the PA system as well. And great speakers here. The sound is great. So, again, the movie will be fun. So.
A lot of exciting things are happening with the stadium. Again, I got to give Steve Madden a lot of credit for spearheading the committee and the growth. The Jumbotron, the locker room for the boys, for all sports. That's going to be made available for all sports underneath Bryant Stadium that we've never had access to in the past. The sound system, the improvement of this press box hopefully gets improved over the years.
Yeah.
And we got big plans for Bryant Stadium now that it technically belongs to us through the school board. There's a lot of fun and exciting things happening. And
Good point.
the stadium is in desperate need of a facelift.
Yep.
I mean, it's a very old place, looks impressive, but the bones are good, but it just, we need to beautify it.
Just heard as you were talking, Plant is a familiar name. Obviously, 23-10 over Gaither right now in that game.
There we go.
So there's a potential team that we could face here in the coming games. Plant, that perennial.
Like another shot at Plant.
Yep. Nice pass there by Sessoms over to the right side. And their chance, opportunity on the piggyback in those two personal fouls against the Knots of maybe putting some points on the board if you're a Bull, at least some pride points.
That's it.
Whatever you'd like to call them at this point. Something. 43-0 at this point, just trying to wipe out the goose egg.
In '99, we had a little slogan. It was called "Going the Distance." You know, this is we are returning. Hopefully, we are returning.
And many of us remember well the last state championship game, but there's always that new generation that is ready, hungry for that experience, and it is definitely experience as Miller gets piled upon.
You and I were calling the game that night at Brandon when we saw Chris Rainey go off for the very first time, and he ran coast to coast that night about 4 times, and you and I were looking at each other with our jaws dropping, and we were like, "Oh my goodness, this young kid is no longer a freshman.
Nope.
He's the real deal." And then they rattled off 3 state championships in a row. It was amazing to watch. 04, 05, 06, some of the best teams I've ever seen. You and I calling it together. What a privilege that was.
And you know, I don't think I'm out of line with saying this, is that I don't know for those 2 or 3 years that wasn't one of the best teams in high school history. I mean,
I
anywhere.
I think that the 04, 05 teams, in my opinion, we could have played with anybody in the country in those 2 years.
Any given year, like you pick the best team any year, and that team could have hung with them.
Any given year, any given team. I think that we could have played anybody in the country with those 2 teams, especially toward the end when we were clicking on all cylinders.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those were just some amazing teams. You know, a little fresher, injury-free. Everybody's hitting on all cylinders. It was awesome. A lot of talent.
When you see that progression from a team, and we're seeing some of that with our team. Ski McWilliams doing a lot with his legs. That's a nice pass, but a good defensive play in the end zone, broken up in the end zone by the Knots. So at least thwarted them there on that effort. But I mean, it's amazing to watch how Castle kind of just keeps adding to the playbook towards the end of the season in the playoffs, and you just see, you're like, where was that? But they just phenomenal in those years to watch, and I see some of that this year as well. Certainly the same capabilities. Bowman's obviously got him next year again, which is tremendous, but certainly a player that could go to just about anywhere, it seems like. Right? Does he have that kind of talent?
There's no doubt that he's a next level kid.
Yeah.
No doubt. High level next level kid. He's special. And hopefully he's doing enough with the academics so that he can be able to kind of go anywhere, make a good choice.
Good shot by Sean Smith at the 4-yard line to prevent Miller from getting in the end zone.
And from what I hear, I think he is.
That's good. He's got that personality too. You see him, he's got the smile.
Big smile.
He's got that package that a lot of schools will look for. Celebration started here on the Dreadnought sideline.
And the cheerleaders, I mean, this is just the student section, the cheerleaders, I mean, it looks like this year, and I got to give a lot of credit again to Jill Beavis and Leslie Norman. They've done a tremendous job building school spirit on campus, enthusiasm in front of the cheerleaders. It's awesome. Great team effort.
There you go. Miller and Sessoms kept pounding it away, and off the right side, Miller found a little bit of a space and a gap and exploited it, and they scored 6 points. Yeah, good for them.
Well, that's okay. This is good experience for the defense. The backups on the defense are getting some playing time.
Gives the Bulls a chance to do their little touchdown dance over there.
I don't think Wiregrass has taken out anybody, obviously. I know I know the clock's running, but they're going up against a lot of our backup players, and this is good experience for them.
See if the theme for the Bulls with the bad snaps carries over to this extra point. Punter's had a rough night. Some of his own doing, but a lot of poor snaps. Another penalty on the Knots late. I don't know if that'll improve it a whole bunch. But thankfully, don't have to hang out too much. This clock helps out the second half move, boogie along. Completely different kind of feel. Bit of a high snap, but he gets it down and gets it through, it looks like. Yes, so 7 on the board for the Bulls. A little bit of a letdown. That starting D would have loved to have the second team preserve that, but no harm really done there. So now just a mere 16 points scored against the Knots in the last 8 games. Pretty good so far.
Oh, yeah. You know, Coach's biggest challenge now is just to keep everybody in the game, keep them focused, and then just have them playing hard. Double checking with coaches to make sure that the players, the backups, are in the right positions, and then make sure everybody's executing as best they can without celebrating too much.
Fred, do the practice regiments, I think I know the answer to this. I want everyone else to hear, though. Do they change at all during the playoffs, or does Coach Castle just
no,
he stays rock solid?
Everything stays rock solid. It's one game at a time. It doesn't matter. And, you know, let's just say that Wiregrass is not the strongest first playoff team. You know, he's going to prepare as if it's the state championship. That's just his nature. He's going to over-prepare. And we used to tell our kids, we're going to work you hard during the week. That way Friday night seems easy. That was the whole philosophy. He's going to over-prepare.
So that was an onside kick attempt that went out of bounds. Only went about 3 yards before it went out of bounds.
That kick did not make any sense to me.
Yeah.
They did not execute that well.
Definitely, their special teams has definitely struggled. But
and the kicking game's important.
Oh yeah, when you start adding all those little mistakes, but add them all together in the course of a game, and that can be a swing of multiple points, if not momentum kind of things, you know, that a team thrives on. We've always been kind of that, as you said, once we get going, the squad kind of has a feeling of momentum. Penalties have always been our worst nemesis, I think. We've always had the skill, but when we start to get a little loose with our play and get those penalties, it kills us.
Looks like we got a young quarterback going back in the game.
Yeah.
Mason Martin.
Who's really, with the first quarter play and now most of the second half, has played the majority of the minutes in this ball game.
Yep. He's quite a talented young little quarterback, too. He's got a good arm.
We've seen him make a couple nice throws as he's had the opportunity this season. This time just hands it off to Kellum left side, who Kellum's is a good little back at his own right.
Oh, yeah.
Elusive, tough to get down, finds the seam always seemingly.
I see the quarterbacks with the traditional jog to the sidelines. They talk to get the plays from Coach.
Some things will never change, right?
That has stood the test of time. I remember years ago he tried hand signals and he tried a little play calling. Oh yeah, we had some hand signals back in the late 1990s, but he never could quite get away from just having direct communication with the quarterback in between plays. It's always worked for him.
Split backfield, Kellum trying to get away from a defender, and he's going to run into another one. Just no room there to run. Football fans, the best games are yet to be played. Make plans to attend the 2018 Florida High School Football State Championship Games hosted by the Central Florida Sports Commission. The intense action takes place at Camping World Stadium in Orlando, December 6th through December 8th. Tickets start as low as $12. Come out and watch the best in Florida high school football play. Visit the FHSAA website at fhsa.org for more information. Championship games in Orlando this year. Of course, we've been to Gainesville. We've been down to Miami. We've hit the
Daytona Beach.
Hit the gamut of playoffs. We'd love to go to Orlando, of course, just about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour away here, which a little bit of like a home game, hopefully well-traveled if we get that far. A lot of football to be played yet, though, as Martin brings his team up for the last couple minutes of this ball game. Rolls out, trying to elude some tacklers. Throws is going down. Pretty good to get that ball away, but they're going to call him down at the 50, I think.
Well, he showed enough poise to get the throw off. I don't know if they're going to call him down or not. Did he get the throw off in time? Doesn't look like he did.
I think the white hat came in there and stomped his foot down at
Looks
the 49.
like his knees hit before he threw. Yep. They're making him down it right there. It'll be a sack.
Yeah. Again, great. You just can't, as much as you practice, you still can't get game time experience the same way. I mean, you can do a lot, but it's just to get in there with colors.
Again, they've got their starters, and then we've got our backups, and it's a different speed. It really is. And if you haven't played, if you're not used to the speed of the game, it's you got to get used to it. It's tough.
Something about lining up with a jersey being a different color across from you, even though you practice a couple different colored jerseys during that. Just something about the colors that
it's a little different in scout squad practice.
Yes,
no doubt.
Well, the night's been a successful one. They're literally doing backflips there on the sideline. I just saw what was that number 33? That was Jalen Taylor down there. Look at he's spotting him on the back.
Yeah. Well,
that one wasn't too pretty.
All the coaches aren't watching it.
Yeah, they're not looking at that.
I'd be telling him to not do that. Is 33 a starter?
Jalen Taylor, he's
Yeah. Well, that senior, I'd be telling that senior no backflips. You get hurt.
That's probably not the best idea.
It is not. But they're having fun, and they're kids.
The Knots will go to 11-0 on this 2018-2019 campaign. Only a couple other teams in the entire playoff bracket that were undefeated during the regular season. Even some of those names that you would think had one loss. St. Thomas, Columbia. Boy, nice punt. It's going to be down. Oh! He ran into the end zone. Let's see where they marked that. Beautiful punt by
J-Ho.
J-Ho.
There it is. The famous J-Ho.
He is a punting specialist, as his dad says, but still, you wouldn't know it. He's really come around in the kicking game this year. But at the beginning of the season, his dad came up and made sure we knew that he kind of stepped into that kicking thing. Coach made him pull them in, but he really wanted to be a punting specialist, but he agreed to do his best, and he's been a great addition in that
I'll tell you what, in my opinion, he's had a good year, and he's got good form, and looks good, solid.
Mm-hmm.
And you never know when it may come down to needing him. We hope not, but it may come down to it. And sometimes if it just means exchanging extra points.
Yeah.
When you're in a tight game deep in the playoffs, those extra points mean a lot. They could mean the difference in a win or a loss.
So starting off with a safety, the Dreadnaughts would love to finish with a safety, but they get some room out to the 7-yard line. Miller, again, has been their main ball carrier tonight. Had a couple decent little runs against this tough defense as we are under the last minute of play here. So we'd like to, again, thank all of you for joining us. We're not going to have the traditional post-game interviews tonight. Jeff Goddard is not here to get down on the field, but we've enjoyed having Fred up here since halftime and a quick second half with the running clock. Means that the Dreadnaughts did their job in the first half. As Sessoms, to wrap this one up, rolls out left side, is going to chunk it deep, letting it go. There's 2 or 3 men down there.
Oh, my God, he made a cut.
That's a great little.
How did he make that catch? That was amazing.
Somehow,
looks like he caught it falling down.
Yeah, falling down almost off the back of one of our defensive backs. By far their longest play of the evening as the end of the ball game transpires. So, decent little padding of their passing stats, as that was their longest play of the night. But the Dreadnaughts will come away successful here in the first regional quarterfinal. The refs are talking it over for some reason. I don't know if there's still going to be one more play left or what they're doing. But what we do know is the Dreadnaughts will be back here next Friday night.
Kathleen 13 and Harmony 3.
Ooh, still Kathleen 13, Harmony 3 late in that ball game. Remember, they do not have a running clock, so they're still in the third quarter. So that score could change, and they are looking like they're clearing the field for one final play, I think, which will be placed at the 47-yard line and give Sessoms one more Hail Mary attempt here.
He'll try it. Tim, it's been fun to do the show with you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I enjoyed it. And bring back.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime.
We've had a lot of fun over the years with our Dreadnought fans.
Steve Howard, Steve still texts me every once in a while, or when he sees a bad call, I get a text fire from him. He's like, "What does that guy think?" And it's just, I know it's Steve. I don't even have to look at him.
He had no idea some of the things that we used to say.
I love it. Still
we get so excited you couldn't make out what we were saying.
That's right. Sessoms
we were into the game.
Found Gonzalez out there. He's going to try to get the sideline, but he's not going to get past the 20-yard line there, 25. So that will in fact do it, and that will be the last play of this ball game, and it'll go officially in the books as a 43-7 win in the first round of the FHSAA 2018.
Tim, and sticking with tradition, I got to leave you.
You got to get out.
Dreadnought fans, I'm out of here.
You cannot stay.
See you later.
Fred Lopez.
See you next week.
You'll see Fred again as we're going to incorporate him one way or another in some of the broadcast and get his expertise. Thanks so much, Freddie. And we're not going to take much time in wrapping this one up tonight, folks, because this is nothing we can really say other than the Dreadnaughts continually are putting together complete performances on defense with only 7 points scored just late on the second team, but had a 0 up there posted for most of the game. And everyone did their job. Not sure why. Again, Martin came in early in the first quarter, but McWilliams and the skilled players Bowman just turned it on in the second quarter and really just put on a clinic. Unbelievable running by both those skilled players, and fun to watch. Literally artistry, as I said, out on the field. So as we are seeing the handshakes here at the middle of the field, we'll go ahead and wrap this one up so you guys can enjoy the rest of your Friday night. But a fun time here with the Lakeland football webcast, and thank you again to Michael Barrett and the whole team for coming early. I came early this morning to bring my daughter. They were here already setting up, so they do all the real hard work, and we get to have some of the fun with them here on the webcast. So thank you again to the FHSAA, and we will be right here with you. Not sure if it's going to be Kathleen or Harmony. We'll see soon. Stay with us, and look to our website as well for any further information. So we'll wrap it up here tonight from Bryant Stadium with the Dreadnaughts victorious in their first 2018 regional quarterfinal game, advancing to the regional semifinal game next Friday. 43-7 is your final score. God bless. Good night. Take care.